Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a college football review over a couple of teams, and I know I haven't uploaded in a minute, so I'm getting this video out, and then we're gonna start back the grind again to doing more longer videos. This one we just gonna probably do the top 15 teams in the top 25, because by the time I do my next video, it'll be a whole entire top 25, because this video is gonna come out on Friday, so the day before the actual college football. All the other games, because college football is technically going on almost every day now. Like FIU played Tuesday. I mean, they have games, all that. But let's get into this video. We're just gonna do a little pros and cons, or what I like about this team, and I have a question to propose. And I'm gonna ask it right now. It's a hot take. I feel like Ryan Day, Mike Norvell, and Mario Cristobal are all the exact same head coach. I feel like none of them, if you take away everybody who, because let's be honest, Cam Ward came in and saved Mario's job. Everybody who was on Florida State the undefeated year and the season before that saved Mike Norvell's job. And they can't get rid of him, they just paid him. And Mike Norvell just showed us a good prime example of why you have to go out there and recruit instead of trying to pick off of other people's plates and get stuff out the portal. Don't work all the time. And Ryan Day, to be honest with you, I don't think that man is a good head coach. He has yet, not only has he just failed to beat Michigan, he's the same. If you take all those players, it's Ohio State, so they're never not gonna be in a predicament where they're not good. I feel like you can put any coach at Ohio State, they gonna end with a winning record. It's like Georgia, it's like Alabama, it's like Texas. Like, as of right now, you could put a coach back there and they'll still end the season with a winning record. I'm not saying they'll win the championship. I'm not saying they will be number one in the country. They're going to end the season with a winning record. I'm not saying they'll end the season with like a 9-3, 10-2, or something like that. They're not gonna do anything worse than that. But I want to hear what y'all think. Like I said, that's a hot take for me. I feel like Mike Norvell, Mario Cristobal, and Ryan Day are the exact same head coach. If you were to strap everything from, like I said, Cam saved Mario's job, all the recruits and transfers that Ryan Day gets are saving his job and keeping his identity of not being a good coach for what it is at his level, especially at Ohio State, for all the people he's been getting. He should have been had a national championship. They're just not good to me. Ohio State, their players are good, very talented team, very good team. They're gonna go far. They're not gonna win because I feel like of Ryan Day. Same thing with Mario Cristobal. They're gonna go undefeated. They're probably gonna win the ACC. They could make a deep playoff run. Are they gonna win it all? No, they're not. Mario Cristobal is not gonna outcoach Kirby Smart. He's not gonna outcoach the coach of Oregon. At least for me, those are only two teams he's not gonna be able to outcoach those people. And I feel like Georgia is gonna be the ultimate team to beat, because I feel like Georgia is now on a mission ever since they lost to Alabama, and they know they can't lose no more. And I think that's why they put belt to Texas. I told everybody. I don't know why nobody don't listen. I told them Georgia was going to beat Texas, and Georgia is on a mission. Georgia knows they can't lose anymore. And I think Georgia I know they're going to win a national championship probably. It's going to be Georgia and Oregon in the national championship. But let's get into the top 15 teams and what I think of each one of them. We're gonna start with Boise State. I'm gonna be honest with you, their running back has got them this far. If you go and watch them, when they played the University of Las Vegas, I watched that game. When he's not going, their offense becomes like still water. There's no flow, there's no current, there's no movement. They become completely lost. Now, which is it too surprising that they become still without him? Not really. He's got them this far. He's been breaking records, and we're gonna give him that. But I think it's gonna come down to when they have to play. Cause to me, they're gonna win out, and they're gonna play they're gonna be in the playoffs because they're gonna win the Mountain West. They're in the Mountain West. Who else is in the Mountain West? They got to end up playing Colorado State, who's not 8-4 right now. They got they don't have to play nobody in the Mountain West. They're gonna end up playing like Fresno State or somebody, or like Colorado State. So they're gonna easily blow them people out and keep it pushing. They're gonna be the 12th team into the 12-team playoff. So the only thing is they're gonna have to play a good defense who's not gonna let that running back get to a game where he wants to. They're not gonna let him get no 100-yard. Like Boise State, they played Oregon. And I will say that running back, he was killing Oregon, and they almost beat Oregon too. But when I feel like he has to play a real physical defense, because let's be honest, it's Oregon. Oregon ain't really got no defense. They're gonna get stopped. So but I ain't gonna lie, I'll get them an A for this season that they're having. They're having a really good season. The fact that they're probably gonna go into the playoffs, even though they lose first round, second round, they still did good. Next, we have Alabama. I don't know what to say about Alabama. I'm gonna make a separate video on like quarterbacks in general. But Alabama, them people right there are bad, dog. Like Alabama, they're not bad. Actually, I'm not gonna say they're bad. I'm joking. They're not bad. They lost to Vanderbilt though, in a game where I feel like they've lost the discipline of what was going on when Nick Saban was there, which I think with Kellen DeBoer, you can't ask him to come in and do what Nick Saban did. He's not. And he may not even have the players that he wants to have, but as a coach, you can't complain. You work with the players that you have, make the best out of nothing, turn nothing into something, and win. And that's what you got to do. He has not been doing that. I feel like he has. Now, do I feel like now players feel like they're being more open and being more undisciplined than what they were with Nick Saban there? Because, yes, Nick Saban was finna have them people on lockdown. Like, the player crashing out when they were losing to Vanderbilt. Like, that's not happening. You get kicked out the team, you do something like that with Nick Saban there. Kellen DeBoer just disciplines you. You know, probably had to do some extra at practice. But Alabama, they not scaring nobody no more. And the only reason is people don't understand how much Nick Saban had on that Alabama team. When Nick Saban was there, nobody wanted to play them. When Nick Saban was at Alabama, there was not a single team in the country who wanted to play Alabama no matter how good that team was. You could have been the best. If it was Nick Saban, head coach at Alabama, you knew that entire team was going to the NFL, and you knew that entire team was ready to pack somebody up. You didn't want to play Alabama. Now you play Alabama, you know you have a legitimate chance of beating them. I would say between now and towards the end of Nick Saban, like that, when Bryce Young's senior year, that year right there, between that time and now, that's when Alabama has become the most beatable version of themselves. This has been the most beatable we've seen Alabama. It's between now and when Bryce Young had his senior year. This has been the most we've seen Alabama been in such a beaten state. Now, to move on, I'll give Alabama a B. Or if they lose to LSU, which I think they are going to lose to LSU, I'm going to give them a B, though. Next, we had 13 at Indiana. Indiana's been playing their tail off. I can't even lie. I think Indiana's going to win out. I think they're going to beat Ohio State. Ohio State. Ohio State gonna drop to either Penn State, they gonna either drop to Indiana, or they gonna drop to Michigan. I'm telling you right now, they gonna lose one of those 3 games. And my biggest bet is gonna be to Indiana. Their coach be having them ready to play. Indiana has been blowing everybody out. Even they've been playing some good people to be like they're actually up there. And the thing is, it doesn't feel like what they're doing is going to be a miracle story. I feel like what they're doing is going to be a statement to everybody. So, I'll watch out for Indiana. And to be honest with you, I have Indiana getting into the into the playoffs. So, next we have Iowa State. I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be quick and easy. Iowa State, they're only ranked this high because of the record. To me, Iowa State's not that good. And to be honest with you, they could drop. I'm not going to say they're not that good. They're here for a reason. They're not good enough to have the number 12 next to their name. They're good enough to have a number to be ranked next to their name. They're not good enough to have that 12 ranked next to their name. Now, could they probably dog walk some of the teams above them? Let's throw a name out there. Colorado. I feel like Colorado could beat Iowa State. Let's throw another name out there. SMU, they're ranked right. SMU's ranked 20 in the country. SMU could beat Iowa State. Iowa State been struggling, dog. They're not good for. They're good enough to be ranked. They're not good enough to have that 12 next to their name. Somebody else could have had that. And the fact that if you actually go looked at the rankings for, because I did this, I had to write all this stuff down because I write all the ranked teams down and I write a bunch of stuff next to them because I watch film and stuff on them. If you go look on ESPN or even Google at the rankings, they have Clemson and Iowa State tied because they don't know who to give to the 12th spot. If you don't give Clemson that 11th and give Iowa State that 12 and keep it pushing, they don't know football. Speaking of Clemson, we're on Clemson, a team that has been rolling ever since they lost to Georgia. They lost to Georgia and has not looked back since, which to blame, I won't want to look back on that game either. Yeah, Clemson has a very good chance of winning the ACC. Like I said, my prediction is I think UM is going to win it. This feels like UM's year to... This feels like a year UM is going to just do enough to prove to everybody, like, hey, we have good seasons like this every once in a while. Gotta be honest with you. UM is not doing this next year. Y'all can call me a hater, but UM is not doing this next year. Once Cam leaves, once Restrepo leaves, they're not doing this. Matter of fact, they got to play Florida next season. Same thing like I said at the beginning here. We going to beat them. Hey, I'm going to be right here saying the exact same thing. Florida, we finna dog walk them next year. And we come down here, I'm finna get a POV shot of them getting beat. So, I'm cool with that. But Clemson, it's going to be Clemson and UM in the championship. I like Clemson. Their defense has been playing tough. My only thing is Cade, their quarterback, Cade Klubnik. I don't know. I will say he's an elite level game manager. That's all he can do. He can manage a game. Which you'll actually see. A lot of teams in the top 25 don't have good quarterbacks. They have a bunch of game managing quarterbacks. Like, for example, Carson Beck, Will Howard. Those are Quentin Ewers. Game managing quarterbacks. They just do it at a very elite level to where they can almost say they're elite. Because you know why? They're at the borderline of elite. They're right below it, where the elite level of game manager is. Riley Leonard for Notre Dame. He is just starting to pass that. A lot of those quarterbacks are just really good at managing a football game at the quarterback position, which is, you could say, is technically their job. But that's my thing for Clemson. Defense been playing elite. K could be very off and on because he gonna get him a pick in for some reason. He can never have he can never have 200 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. It's always 200 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. 2 touchdowns, 209 yards passing, 2 interceptions. It's like he never have a game where he don't got to throw a pick. He throwing a pick to somebody. Like, I'm telling you, like, it don't fail. They play Louisville. Watch how he throw a pick. He gonna be having a Heisman-like game. He's still in the game with 2 minutes left. He throw a pick. Never fails with him. I don't understand. And his picks are so obvious. They're just such. Why would you throw that type throws? It's like, at what point did you read the defense and say, yeah, this is a good look right here? That's what he does. I'm spending too much time on Clemson. I need to get off of them. At number 10, Texas A&M. I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, I got Texas A&M to beat Texas at the end of the season. Texas A&M has to play Texas as their last game of the season. Give me Texas A&M. I'm going to be honest with you. Texas A&M has been dog walking everybody except for Notre Dame. But they have been dog walking everybody after them. And I don't think we going to see nobody else dog walk them. What sold me is once they beat LSU. So next, well, I'm going to have a more in-depth video. Trust me, I'm having a more in-depth video about all these teams. That video is probably going to be way, way longer once I get fully better and stuff. So we're going to have a more in-depth video of me diving into each team, talking about the players and stuff. So this one, I'm just doing my little review for BYU. We ranked number 9. I'll be honest with you, BYU is doing a lot better than I expect them to do good. I didn't expect them to do what they're doing now. Did they have a chance to make the 12-team playoff when I first saw them come into the season? I gave them that chance. Because after Oklahoma and Texas left, the Big 12 was just up for grabs. And for me, it was either going to be Colorado or BYU, to be honest with you. Because I didn't see nobody else doing it. Maybe Utah, but Utah, Cam Rising, been in college for 30 years now. Like, that man ain't doing nothing. He hurt. He keeps trying to come back to college. He just got hurt. I bet he'd be here next year again and take Utah to an exact same spot. He always hit in the bowl games. He ain't never take them to a playoff. Tired of seeing that man there. But, BYU, it's going to, I feel like, I like BYU and I like Colorado to be in the Big 12 championship and give me BYU to win. I think Colorado's going to win out, and I think BYU is going to win out too, and I think those two are going to meet in the Big 12 championship. Now, you could be saying Iowa State. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, Iowa State, somebody's going to lose to Iowa State. Kansas State has to play Iowa State. I think Kansas State's going to be Iowa State. So, I said a lot of states in that one sentence. That was a lot of saying. I am talking very too much. I don't usually talk this much. At number 8, we have Notre Dame. My only problem with Notre Dame is it's Notre Dame. They tend to play to the level of the people that they play. For some reason. They could be playing a high school team and they will play to the level of a high school team. They could play kindergartners in the football game. I bet you they play to the level of the kindergartners. They play Illinois. They didn't play Illinois. It was Northern Illinois. They played to the level of Northern Illinois. I've never seen a team like Notre Dame play to the level of a MAC school. Isn't that so crazy? And that's their one loss, too. They've been beating everybody else. Riley Leonard has been stepping up. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how he's not in a Heisman conversation. I think because he had a little, drowning out, especially after that loss to Northern Illinois. Which I understand. It's Northern Illinois. How do you lose to Northern Illinois? Northern Illinois is getting beat by everybody now. Like, it was like, oh my God, Northern Illinois really won to, like, oh my gosh, how did you lose to Northern Illinois? Because you look at them people again, them people suck. I really don't know how you lost. Like, you really look at Northern Illinois now, them people suck. They're not even ranked no more. Them people are ranked for one week. And they lost to Buffalo. Like, dog, them people are not good. Next, we have Tennessee, who's ranked 7. Another team who is I don't like them people. They beat Florida. I don't like how they beat us, dog. I don't like Tennessee. They are up. But I like Nico. I like their quarterback. He has freshman tendencies when he plays. It showed against us. It showed against Alabama. It showed against Arkansas. It's a freshman. He gonna learn. And he's gonna be really good. But to me, Tennessee, they're gonna lose. The only reason they're not gonna get in because they're gonna lose to Georgia, and like Georgia's gonna win out for me. So Tennessee, they're gonna lose to Georgia, and that's how they're gonna be out. Moving to Texas. I'll be honest with you, I think Texas is still gonna get in. They're gonna go to their only big game left is Texas A&M. I feel like that Georgia, and they struggled against Vanderbilt, but it's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt been wanting to upset everybody at this point. I'm pretty sure. Hot take, Vanderbilt can beat Miami. Just saying. And speaking of the Canes, at rank number 5, mighty Lord, I've been waiting to get to them. Now, I don't have that much bad to say about them. To be honest, I have a lot of good to say. Cam Ward playing like a Heisman. Restrepo actually being a top 10 receiver. You know, when you don't have Tyler Van Dyke throwing you the football, you actually get to show people how good you are. So, Cam Ward has been playing out of his mind. I ain't gonna lie. He's a really good quarterback. He understands the game of football. He understands what he's doing out there, which is why he's so poised. And nothing really bothers him, because why should it? He throws a pick, then he gonna go down, come back the next drive, and throw some touchdown by breaking 30 different tackles. So, the only bad thing I have to say about UM is their defense. Their defense is not good for the level it needs to be at. You gave up 30-plus points to three straight games. You gave up 30-plus points to ACC opponents. Now, the Virginia Tech game, you can say that's a rivalry game. I'm not going to let that one slide, though. The thing is, the only reason why that's a problem to me, but you gave up 17 to Florida, that you gave like 3 or 6 or something like that, or to FAMU. You gave up 0 to Ball State. I think you only gave up like 16 or something like that to the University of South Florida. Then after that, you gave up 3 straight games with 30-plus points, in which, let's be honest, against California, you should have lost. And the Virginia Tech one, it was a Hail Mary. A lot of people said that should have been a touchdown, but the correct ruling was the player touched the ball when they had landed. So that just scratched that one. Cal should have... You should only have one loss, and that's to Cal, really. But Cal started playing conservative football, and then you got away with a targeting call. But has to fix their defense if they want to win a national championship, which I don't think they're not. They can make it to the final 4 into the 12-team playoff, but once they have to play Georgia or Oregon, they're gonna lose. First, because them breaking tackles stuff that Cam and Martinez starting to do now, it's not gonna work against Georgia. And you don't want to play Oregon, because Oregon will put a 40 on you, dog, with their eyes closed. Like, Oregon's offense is too good. First off, they scheme too much. First off, there's too many options on that. You got Dillian Gabriel. You got Tez Johnson at the wide receiver. First off, Gabriel can run. He's a dual threat quarterback too. He has an arm. The receivers are fast. Do I think Oregon versus UM it'll be an offensive shootout? Yes, because neither of them know how to play defense. It will just be whose ever defense decides to lock in first, which I'll be 100% honest. I think UM's defense will lock in before Oregon's on does. Because the UM has an SEC type defense. So I will give UM that one. I like UM very much. I think really they should just either stay between 5 and 6. They're not gonna go up no further than that. Which they're gonna because depending on who loses between, it don't really matter who loses between Penn State or Ohio State. That's how UM is gonna move up, especially if they beat Duke. But the only I think they move, even if they beat Duke, they have to blow out Duke. They can't be struggling like they did. Like Louisville. Louisville was going band for band with them. But UM ran away, which people wanted to say the pass going forward was a fumble. That wasn't a fumble. His arm was going forward. That was an incomplete pass. You can't even try to do that one. You got to know the rule book. Next, we have Ohio State. I mean, to me, with Ohio State, I don't trust Will Howard and I don't trust Ryan Day in big games. And I feel like we're going to find out how they do in big games against Penn State. We saw how they did in the big game against Oregon. Didn't do good. Got outcoached and got outplayed. Didn't know how much time was remaining on the clock. So, Ohio State, they as more the season starts to go on, you see their flaws. Which you see with a lot of teams in that are ranked in the top 10 usually. Next, we have Penn State. I'm being honest with you. I've not watched that many Penn State games. From what I do see, Drew Aller has been playing really good. Defense have been playing elite too. Penn State also head coach cannot win big games, which I think is going to be a big reason to why, for some reason, he cannot beat Ohio State, which I don't think he's going to do Saturday. It's hard for me to pick for that game Saturday between Penn State and Ohio State. I like Penn State, but I also like Ohio State. I don't know. Something's telling me Penn State might do it. I'm going to believe in Penn State. You know what? We're going to go with Penn State. Penn State losing, I'm clowning them. At number 2, we have Georgia. Georgia offense is not explosive as it needs to be. It's not. Carson Beck, like I said, he's a game manager. He's not a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he's not elite level quarterback. He was projected to be a high NFL draft pick. I don't know how that's going to go now with how he's been playing. And he was supposed to be a Heisman candidate too. He is not finna get there either. He makes a lot of bad throws. He makes a lot of bad reads. But he is a quarterback. When he actually plays legit good football, he's actually unstoppable to stop. So he's just I will say he's another quarterback. Nothing doesn't really bother him either. He's not like a Cam Ward type level, not bother, but a lot of stuff don't bother him, which I think that goes for a lot of players from Georgia, which is why I think they're a really well coached team with Kirby Smart. Outside of the other stuff that they do, but Georgia defense is going to be the reason I feel like they win that national championship. I have Georgia to win a national championship because their defense is NFL level. About everybody on that defense is going to the NFL. So, I think it's going to be Georgia and Oregon in the national championship. And speaking of Oregon, to get to the number 1 team in the country, we have Oregon, who I feel like is going to just be a really hard offensive team for a lot of teams to stop. And they're going to win the Big Ten. It's going to be them. A hot take, give me them in Indiana. And I feel like they're going to beat Indiana. And Oregon is going to be a very hard team to beat. And I don't have their defense, I feel like, is going to be their only letdown. See, the only thing with Oregon, their defense has to get stopped because what's going to end up happening? Oregon is going to end up being in an offensive shootout with a lot of teams in that playoff that they shouldn't have to be in an offensive shootout win. Like, it was a good example. BYU. Oregon should not be in an offensive shootout with BYU. Does BYU have a good offense? Yes. Do they have a good defense? Yes. But BYU is ranked 9. Oregon is ranked 1. If you don't show the gap between 1 and 9, you're not a good team. Personally, Oregon offensively is the best team in the country. To me. And defensively, they're not. They're just not that good, dog. And I say not that good because I say not that good with a lot of teams. You may be like, oh, they are good, but I say not that good in a sense. What I'm talking about, you got to play Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas, Tennessee. Any team in the top 15. I'm talking about you have to be good to that sense where you know. That's why I say if you're Oregon or Georgia, you show the gap between 1 and 2 and then everybody else. Like, show that there is a gap level between, especially with Georgia. They did it. Was it 2023 when they beat TCU? And they showed it was a clear gap between everybody who played them. Are we going to see a dominant showing like that? Probably not. But Oregon, I like them. I really do. They're a really good team, and they're really fun to watch play. And I will, between Oregon, and I will say Oregon and BYU are the most two fun teams to watch film on. And Penn State. Penn State's very interesting. They do a lot of trick stuff. Like, having a center moss somebody is kind of crazy. But that's going to be it for this video. This video was long, but just yapping. I'm going to do this again, but be more in-depth. This one I'll kind of be more goofy and silly, but a lot of stuff I do mean. Almost everything I do mean. I just said it more in a goofier, sincere way. Do remember my question at the end of the video, which was Mike Norvell, Mario Cristobal, and Ryan Day are all the exact same coach. Really? I wasn't going to throw Ryan Day into the mix. It was just going to be that Mario Cristobal and Mike Norvell the exact same coach. Matter of fact, let's let Florida State and fans argue. I'm going to take Mike Norvell and Mario Cristobal are the exact same coach. Matter of fact, if you were to switch them around, they have the exact same season. And I'm finna stand on that one. I ain't even thinking that one until now. That's a good one. If you switch Mike Norvell and Mario Cristobal around, if you put Mike Norvell as the head coach on the University of Miami and Mario Cristobal as the head coach of Florida State, they have the exact same seasons that they're having now. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Have a blessed one, and I will see you guys in the next one.